Well, wouldn't you know it? Just dropping in the back door is Justin Jarrett, the
Told you
founder of
coming.
LowcoSports. We welcome you to a Friday night episode of the LowcoSports Lowdown.
I don't know
I
if
am
my
Wes
shower
Kerr.
took.
Justin Jarrett is here. We started the show. Not sure if you were taking a nap or something after a long day of golf,
No.
which is the custom when you're uh, either if you're watching the tournament or you're walking the course 2 times in one day. It is apparent that you have to get some rest, and I've been running on fumes just because of how exciting the golf was today. But we welcome you in
Sure
as
was.
we discuss the second round of the RBC Heritage plus some other local sports news. And JJ, glad you could join us for what was a very interesting Friday, which sets up a very intriguing moving day. But I think when you look at this day as a whole, you what comes to mind first is just Harbortown giveth and Harbortown taketh away, because those last few hours of the second round, just a large swing of momentum, and just different swings of direction from a couple of players. And you kind of thought that, well, first of all, you thought that Matt Fitzpatrick would potentially be leading by more than a stroke after that incredible run, 8 under par. But Victor Hovland came roaring back right at the end, just as you thought he was fading, after a really tough sequence where uh, he had a chance to make birdie on 12. He couldn't. He bounced back for the birdie, but then a tough bogey on the 14th. But man, he just continued to fight and able to get to within a stroke of Matthew Fitzpatrick, and the one-shot lead for the 2023 RBC Heritage Champions, 14 under par with him, 8 under 63.
Great day.
Man, his putter was absolutely on fire down the stretch, and goes to show how well he knows this course and he knows how to deliver. And obviously he played in the morning window, the first window of the day. But when I say Harbortown giveth and Harbortown taketh away, you look at what Hovland did, but then you look at what happened to Ludwig Oberg, who all of a sudden you thought that he was going to make a charge. He had a really nice front nine, and then just uncharacteristic play. I mean, maybe we've seen it before on Sundays in his career where he's had opportunities to win tournaments and it just kind of faded late for him. But you wish that he could have, for him, that you wish that he could have continued to deliver down those last couple of holes in this second round, because we talked about yesterday how just a couple of bad sequences can really send you in the wrong direction in this course. And we talk again about the risks and the rewards of playing this back nine, especially for really this entire course. And a couple of minor mistakes can really bite you, and that's kind of what happened to Oberg, and just a disastrous bogey on that par 5 15th. Couple of slip ups for him, so he drops all the way back to -9, 5 back in the lead, which is held by Fitzpatrick. But and then just lurking. Well, obviously you got Fitzpatrick at -14, Hovland -13, 1 back. Harris English with a solid 68.
He had a great day too.
10 under, but then lurking in the weeds at 9 under, Patrick Cantlay.
Yep.
Every year it seems like he is right in the mix, and even though that first one wasn't great, he found his game here today with a stellar 64, and that guy just really has a nose of how to deliver throughout this course. But man, he had himself a tremendous back nine to close out his day. So
starting at 9, yeah, he made 5 birdies in the last 10 holes. That's
but it just goes to show, like I said, Harbortown can give up and Harbortown can take it away. And you look at what Hovland was able to do. You look at Cantlay was able to do. Sepp Straka with a nice day. But then on the opposite side, you look at Ludwig Oberg, and you look at Robert McIntyre, who had a disastrous finish with 2 bogeys on 17, or a double on 17 and a bogey on 18, where first shot on 17, I believe, had to be replayed, or he hit it to, I think he hit it to the waist area of the water.
He hit it in the slop and had to go re-tee from back there, or not re-tee, but drop from back there.
Yep.
And so yeah, looks
Yeah, I mean it's been that kind of day. A lot of twists and turns.
Well, as we've been told many times, you can go around the whole course feeling like there's not a whole lot of wind.
Yeah.
And then you get out to 16, 17, and 18, and you're like, holy cow, where did this come from?
15 to 18 play completely different in terms of atmosphere, environment, the way the wind blows, the way the sun's shining, trees.
Get out on that little peninsula. And
they are
turn
really
the corner
different.
On 16.
Yeah.
The tee shot on 16 is the last one before you go, whoa, like we're in a different
Heritage Lawn.
Like,
is part of it too.
It's a completely different beast.
Yeah.
Once you get to those final few holes,
and
really,
just the
back nine in general. I mean, you have to navigate 14, which is a very tricky par 3 over the water. There's some challenging roadblocks throughout that back nine, but obviously you mentioned how dangerous those final 3 holes could be once you get to that open area.
13 for me.
Yeah.
I think 13 through 18 are just the best run of holes.
Yeah.
Because 13, you got Alice Dye's signature railroad ties and the big bunker around the green. It's just a fantastic spectator hole. And then you got 14, which is one of the toughest, most knee-knocking par 3.
And then the 15 where
crazy hard
when it incites you to hit the green in 2. Well, and I like 15 as well. And we've seen some heroic shots where players have been able to go for 2 and try to get on the green. We've seen some shots that have not gone in heroic fashion and have traveled wayward of the target. And we kind of saw that today.
Risk reward.
Yeah.
Classic.
1 and 2, and then even 9 and 10 are kind of interesting in my opinion too.
I agree.
Because you've got 1 and 9 that intersect there. What used to be the Wine at 9 bar. Not sure if that's still exactly.
I don't know what they call
the
it.
The way it works.
You got the merch tent over there now.
Yes, it used to be.
That's true.
Yeah, that's what it's now. But I know what you're referring to. Years back, Marcus.
Yeah,
been there many a time
between 1 and 9.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, there's so many great holes. We could go on and on. I could write a book about
just building on that. They've done a good job helping. Just the spectator. They built some more grandstands on those. Like they built a grandstand on 14 this year. They expanded the grandstand on 17 the past couple of years. In the past, that was only a sponsor. A sponsor area for those people to get in those grandstands. There were sponsor tents only. I think they have a grandstand for the public now over there, but just adding different locations for spectators to watch these iconic holes, especially 14. I mean that is such a it's a classic Pete Dye risk reward style setup, and that's what makes it you're nearing towards the end of your round, and every shot makes such a big difference. Every choice of the shot that you make makes a big difference, and it's a shot shaping course as you have said, and that's really what makes it a unique challenge and a unique spectacle on tour. Where that can really challenge the best players in different ways that you maybe compared to other spots on the tour. And so that's really what makes this place unique and fun to be a part of. And it's been cool to see the committee, the Heritage, and just those organizing the events, upgrading that spectator. It seems like they've done every year a great job of upgrading that spectator experience, and I think they've done a great job of that again, just adding new additions, not just changing the course, but changing the ways that spectators can enjoy the experience as well. And coming to the tournament, and I think they've done a terrific job so far for the first 2 rounds, and we've got ourselves another good leaderboard.
I have to say, with what you just said, Wes, obviously we give a ton of credit to Angie Stone and Angela McSwain, and certainly Steve Wilmot and a bunch of others. But one thing that we do talk about, it seems like every year in some form or fashion, is, in my opinion, how all of that really kind of changed. It was a bad time, in our history, and especially in the history of sports. But COVID, 2020 changed everything with the way spectator sports are viewed at their locations. And especially with this event, because it is the biggest event that we put on sports wise during the year on Hilton Head Island. And it's
Yep.
not particularly close. So that was a big part of it too, of course. But for us to get out there last year, Sam and I, and again we're going tomorrow,
Yep.
and I'm going to see too about even possibly getting out there and working again. Talked to Jessa and I said, if you need an extra set of hands or something, for next year, I'm happy to go back out there and work. I love doing it the years that I did it. For those that don't know, I was also the voice for Forsyth Jewelers during the tournament. Did a voiceover for them, so I went over and would see them too. So might have to hop in and see them tomorrow too. So yeah, there's just nothing like it, and there's really not a bad place to watch the golf. I mean, last year we went through, a certain section of holes, certainly spent some time around 17, 18, 15, 16, a little bit on the front. And then we just went by the big video board. We got ice cream and whatnot, and we were just sitting outside there kind of in the video board area for a while, just watching like the last hour just to kind of get away from the action, but to still see it. And then we were able to execute our way out towards the shops and whatnot and head home. So there really is not a bad spot at all to watch what is one of the biggest weekends of the year for Hilton Head, and certainly one of the great tournaments of the year for the PGA.
Yeah. I wasn't sure what you were going to say when you said COVID, because the other thing that I thought you might have said that I think was a major turning point for this tournament was 2014, when you may recall that just the right after the third round wrapped, the skies opened up, and I mean
there's always that too. That was the first year that I worked, and I remember that.
Poured and rain, and they stood around and said, "Oh God, what are we going to do about parking?" And up until that point, everybody parked in Sea Pines, and so it was chaos. People were pulling in there and just pulling up and making spots wherever they wanted. It was insanity. And it took so long to get in there, and it took so long to get out of there. And that was the year that it flooded after the round, and they were like, well, there's no way we can park all those cars in Sea Pines tomorrow, because a lot of our parking areas are flooded. And we all thought, oh no, what are they going to do? Well, of course, Wilmot and team already had a plan. In fact, they had been lobbying for a couple of years to move all the parking off site and use shuttles like they had seen done at other tournaments, and it worked really well. And They couldn't get everybody on board because everybody loved it. Oh no, we loved it. You can park right there in Sea Pines and walk up to the tournament and stuff. And so, of course, people are stubborn. They don't like change. But necessity is the mother of invention, and they had to do something. So, Wilmot says, no, we got this. We got a plan. We're going to park them at Honeyhorn. We're going to shuttle them in. It's going to go real good. And frankly, we think it's going to go so well that they're going to want to do it like this from now on. And that's exactly what happened.
Phenomenal.
The best upgrade that has ever happened in the whole history of the tournament. Because you don't know unless you spent, you had to budget like an hour and a half.
Easily
up to like 3 hours, depending on when you were going. If you didn't get in there early in the day, if you waited till midday, it might take you 3 hours to get from Bluffton to Sea Pines to Harbortown.
Correct.
And it was just bananas. And then it might take you an hour to get out of Sea Pines.
Right.
Yes. It was crazy. But yes, count your blessings when you go park your car at Honeyhorn and hop on that nice air-conditioned shuttle, and they drop you off right there in Harbortown, and you just walk over to the golf course.
Listen to some good promos, maybe even hear a voiceover from yours truly. If that thing's still airing, who knows?
It's a much more pleasant experience than it used to be, to say the least. But it's just been up and up and up for this tournament.
Steve Wilmot Company continue to raise the bar every year.
I guess MCI was like the low point, right? And then the year without a sponsor was
that was a scary year. That was a scary year for sure.
But man, it's been all good since RBC.
Verizon used to.
Verizon was there, and then
for years.
Yeah, that was
well.
after MCI went.
Verizon, and then we had the
There were some
sponsors.
crazy names. It was once called like the WorldCom Classic, the Heritage of Golf. That was the name of it at one time.
That's a mouthful.
No
yeah,
kidding.
yeah, there were some really dumb names for it for a little while there, but thankfully we got back to just Heritage, and then RBC came in, and that just seems to fit. And thank goodness for them. I remember when they signed on, it was like, huh, that's strange. Canadian Bank turned out to be just a tremendous sponsor and a great fit, and kind of launched them into becoming a much bigger
the Team RBC
brand ambassador for golf. You know,
they have the whole Team RBC
Canadian Open too.
Yeah, it kind of was their jumping off spot to really take on a bigger bite with golf. So amazing leaderboard, amazing weather has led to really good golf, but not for the defending champ. I don't know if you guys saw, I pulled that up here, but Justin Thomas is literally in dead last.
Yeah,
defending champ.
Who would have thunk it?
9 over par.
He is 82 out of 82, and certainly I don't think anyone would have expected him to be there. Thankfully, there is no cut, so he will be playing on the weekend in this signature event. But man, I was there watching some of that round that JT was playing, because he was playing with Oberg, so I was able to catch some of him as he was out there. And oh boy, there were some promise early, but after the first couple of holes, man, it was tough to watch for someone who at one point was flirting with the course record, I believe, a year ago. I mean, goodness gracious, how things can change. Yeah,
right, 61.
Yeah, he tied the record, I believe. Yeah, just
he'll be dew scraping tomorrow. He goes off at 6:55 a.m.
Oh yeah, he's bright and early.
Early wake up call.
Yeah, he'll get out early. He and Tony Finau.
Bacon and Wheaties got to be ready.
Yep.
About all the coffee he could pour down his throat too.
Some of the guys that are a little bit more in contention will start going off. Where would you say?
Early afternoon. Let's see. We got Morikawa and Scheffler. That's a heck of a
Morikawa and Scheffler is
12:45. McIntyre 12:55. Siwoo Kim. I will talk about him later in the show. But Sepp Straka, who certainly can't count him out. He has been a terrific. Oberg, that's a very good pairing at 140. Harris English and Patrick Cantlay, and then the final pairing of the day, Fitzpatrick and Victor Hovland at 2 p.m. And that should be exciting to see how they will do together in terms of how those two will play. Hovland had a terrific finish to his round birdies on 16 and 17. We talked about how tough those holes are. I made just some terrific shot making and putts on both those holes to draw within one, and that was after a really tough sequence where he missed a point blank birdie putt, I believe, on 12, and then he bogeyed at 14, if I remember correctly. But yeah, it looked like Hoven was about to slip up or at least drop in the leaderboard. But good to see him bounce right back and birdie 2 very difficult holes to end his round, and had a nice scramble on 18 on a pitch off the green to save par. So he's been impressive really all round long. After that first bogey on 1, he was ultra consistent and got started early with his shot making, and continued that towards the end. So, I mean, Victor Hovland, a guy who has been near the top of the world golf ranking, someone who we mentioned, I believe, someone who could contend this tournament, and he appears to be right there in contention now, just one shot back of Matt Fitzpatrick, who, this is a guy that he has local ties here. He vacationed down here. He has such a deep knit connection with Harbortown. There's really no surprise to see him once again in a position like this and trying to win that second tartan jacket after winning in 2023 a couple years ago when he won a playoff. But it's been cool to see Fitzpatrick deliver like the way he has, and just absolute heater on that back nine to close out the round the way he did. 4 birdies in 5 holes, and just a couple of unbelievable shots and some big time putts, including just an unbelievable 33-footer at the par 3 14th hole. He's been reading the greens really well, and actually the crazy story about that hole for Fitzpatrick. Just some fortunate luck there, and he took advantage of it and made that birdie putt. Just that's what it takes sometimes. And he knows the ins and outs of this course. He knows how to get the best opportunities and get the best looks, and it's been awesome to see him continue to be at the top, or at least have a chance to win that second tartan jacket in just a 4-year span. And they like him, they love him over here. He's a great guy, especially someone who has just so much fond history with Sea Pines and this complex as a whole. And it's been cool to see once again that Fitzpatrick. It's someone who we kind of thought that he was eventually going to win here. Remember when he won that first time, and but yeah, I mentioned that crazy story on 14. I'm not sure if you saw the highlight, but he got probably one of the most fortunate bounces you'll ever see. I gotta mute the volume because I'm not sure if we're able to show I don't know if we're going to show the video.
I'm going to show it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, pull it up because it's worth watching. It was one of the craziest, lucky, fortuitous bounces I've ever seen.
Holy cow.
What the heck?
That's bananas.
Are you kidding me? That's insane.
I mean, did not roll into the water.
How in the world?
The odds.
Wow.
What in the?
That is nuts.
I was watching that in the media center when that happened, and I was like, "What in the world?"
And then he runs it
in.
Is
unreal. Wow.
Look, man. Sometimes the universe gives you a gift, and
how about that?
You got to take advantage of it.
And that is why he is up by a stroke over Oakland heading into Saturday. But
that was crazy lucky, bro.
If it comes down to a narrow win, we'll definitely be thinking about that crazy break on Friday.
Holy cow!
But that is just, I guess, the found luck of being a part of this course for a long time and knowing the ins and outs. Even so, that is just some.
That's crazy.
Unreal bounce. Never seen anything.
And then I don't know how it stopped without going in the water. I think it hit a little sprinkler head or something that stopped momentum right at the end. Yeah, it sure did. It rolled through a sprinkler head, and that's the only thing that stopped it from rolling in the water. Man,
wow.
That is the luckiest of lucky on a really hard hole.
I mean, look, he cashed in the break with a really nice 33-foot putt.
Yeah, he still had to make the putt.
Right.
Yep.
And he did.
And then he followed that up with another birdie on 7, or he birdied 15, and then another on 17 with a brilliant shot.
Well, even if it went in the water, he would have had that same putt, right?
Yep.
So.
Yeah. But I mean,
but no, he's been having a heck of a year. He's 8 for 8 on cuts and has already a win at the Valspar, a second at the Players, top 10 at Phoenix. He seems to like to play at places where the crowds are rowdy.
Right.
Played well at all those places this year. So no, I like Fitzpatrick, but wide open field still.
I mean, got Fitzpatrick
within
right now winning percentage of 45. This is dated golf odds 45.7%, but Hovland's just a shade under 20%. I would not be surprised if he finds a way to pull ahead and win this thing. And then next up, we got both Cantlay. Oh, actually, Scheffler didn't even still at 7 under. Is the slightest better odds over Cantlay. 4.6 for Scheffler compared to 4.4 for Cantlay. I certainly Scotty has still 2 runs left. He has the opportunity to turn it on at any moment. So I could see how that makes sense. But Patrick Cantlay, another guy you cannot count out. He's just, like I said, lurking in the weeds at 9 under par. That's the best.
in a bunch of tournaments, and he has for a long time yet to really get over that hump. We'll see what happens these next 2 days, but one of these days he's just gonna have to break through.
Yeah,
You would
I
think.
like him. He kind of plays the heel,
I do
and
too.
I dig it. I didn't know first. He does take so long though. He's so slow.
Oh yeah,
He's
very slow.
Fowler looked like he was really going to make a move early today.
Yeah, I was
He
with
did.
him in the morning, and he was like, I picked him up around 7
Yeah,
after he
'cause he
made that
took
birdie to
those,
tie it.
birdie
He tied the
time and
lead at
six.
6 after 6, and then he kind of fell off in the back half. But
Yeah.
Fowler had a nice run to start, but
Still in
I mean,
it there.
yeah, just didn't make many birdies. He had a couple of good looks, just couldn't hit a big putt down the stretch.
Mhm.
But still, good to see Ricky playing the way he has, and it's not like he hasn't really. He didn't do an Oberg or he didn't do a McIntyre, but he just couldn't hit the couple of big time putts throughout the back half of that round. But he remains right there in the thick of it, and that's cool to see for a guy that has been on the tour for a while. Someone has been beloved by a number of golf fans, and especially over here. I think that Fowler has put on a good show so far, and it was fun to follow him earlier today. I also thought Michael Brennan had shades of an opportunity, but couldn't quite get it going. Just a 69 today. But Robert McIntyre, just man, I thought he was right on the heels of really breaking through. He was 4 under on the back 9, and then just disaster on 17, 18. Yeah. He ran into some big trouble. He went to the water, and then that kind of plagued him. Ended up shooting a double bogey on the 17th, and momentum kind of carried over into the 18th, where he missed a 8.5 foot putt for par. So tough to see that for McIntyre. Still not fully off contention yet, but man, you just thought that maybe he could have been right there with a chance to potentially get within 2 or maybe 1 as we got closer to this round. But we will see what happens on moving day, which is always very
great one.
Yeah, it can go many different ways, but I'm excited to see what a couple of guys will be. I mean, especially Matthew Fitzpatrick. Can he put together another solid round after 2 great ones to begin the tournament? And then there are some others I'm looking at. Scheffler, of course, has that window of an opportunity if he can put together a good round. Look at some other names. Can Oberg find a way to bounce back after a really tough finish with a 70? Sepp Straka is a name who I'm really interested in. He had a great run here today.
Long hair, this Straka.
Yeah, and he actually shot better on Thursday. He did Friday, but I thought that he was solid once again today. And then is this the day where Cantlay makes his move, or is this a day that potentially a guy lower than him can make this move, like a Scheffler or potentially somebody else who can string some big time performances together? Kurt Kitayama, who was playing with Fowler, had another strong day with a 65, and so. It was kind of a running joke that the Growler was here to see Fowler, but Kitayama kept hitting the good shots, and he eventually jumped ahead of Fowler at one point, and they ended up both at 8 under. So,
and didn't he have a really good year here a couple of years ago?
Kitayama,
if memory serves.
Yeah. He's been in the mix here before. I don't remember.
There's another Asian player whose name I cannot think of that also had success there at Harbor Town. Maybe I think I was still working at the time, so it was probably good. And it's not CT Pan that I'm thinking of. We certainly know that Colin Morikawa has, but there's some other player that I'm thinking of.
Siwoo has had some good luck. Siwoo Kim.
Siwoo Kim had a tremendous.
He did, but it's somebody else.
I'll save it for later. But I do have a fun story about Siwoo.
Oh yeah. Oh, are you saving it for parting thoughts?
Yeah, I have some fun heritage related anecdotes for parting thoughts. But yeah, it was a fun day. The weather was great. A little bit warmer than yesterday. Very low 80s, 80, 81, but sunny for the pretty much entirety of the day, and another terrific gallery on hand to take it in. And for the most part, another day of fairly low scores across the board. I mean, you look what Fitzpatrick did, who was matched, I believe. I believe somebody else shot a 63. If I look down, we have Ashke Biata.
Batia
as well. Yes,
I found it. Satoshi Kodaira.
Kodaira, yeah.
Kodaira,
yes.
yeah.
17-18.
Yeah,
I knew there was another player that did really well.
Yes.
Satoshi Kodaira.
And CT Pan won the next year, which I think was last year that I worked.
Satoshi no speak English, not really. I
bet not.
Pan did, but Satoshi, Pan was raised in California or someplace, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But Satoshi, on the other hand, no, it was there was a language barrier there. But man, he played a great tournament that year. But gone are the days when the no names could swoop in here and get
a different tournament now. It's
career win.
The big names are starting to. I mean, you see it once again. Fitzpatrick, Hovland, English. Someone who has been a strong player throughout. Certainly not a no-name guy. And Cantlay, Straw. I mean, these are all. If you follow the tour, these are all names you should know. Oberg, and you look down the road. I mean, you probably didn't know Aldrich.
Gaiter, you probably
Gaiter, yeah, who flirted with the lead at one point today, but wasn't there for long.
You're familiar with,
yeah.
And Batia, he's hovering now with that 600 a day. He's at 8, with the 800 today, he's at 6 now. So one really good round can shoot you back into it.
No doubt, and
especially and those guys that go up early tomorrow will maybe get a chance at getting it.
That's what happens a lot, especially on these kind of days in the tournament, especially Saturday, where you have the opportunity to get some low scores in, and you see it on Sunday as well. If you're able to put pressure on a tight leaderboard, but especially tomorrow, with the opportunity to, the course conditions should be still strong throughout the rest of the weekend. Maybe a little more cloudy skies, but that's the only difference. It's going to be some really good conditions tomorrow and Sunday to close out this edition of the tournament. And just a lot of fun storylines. You have a chance for Fitzpatrick to win 2 in 4 years. Cantlay, can he finally break through? And you just look at some other names on tour who could really benefit big time from a win like this. Ludwig Oberg, who has just been right there on the cusp of a big win. Ricky Fowler, obviously, would be a great story. And you still have some no-name guys lurking throughout. And then, could we see a big Scheffler rally? It's not out of the question, but it's certainly not out of the question that he can do it, but I feel like he has been just a little bit lackluster early in points, and we've kind of seen signs of that. You kind of saw at Augusta he had a chance to come back if he would have, just found his signature gear a little earlier, and maybe he does that here. Maybe he's able to propel himself to what would be a tremendous finish, especially if one of those bigger names finds a way to catch up the top of the leaderboard as well. But just like you said, JJ, the way this tournament has evolved, to see the leaderboard like this once again this year, it's awesome. I mean, these are the best golfers in the world competing for a huge payday right here in the Lowcountry Harbortown Golf Links.
Dude, I just saw something crazy. This is especially crazy considering the golf course we're talking about. Yeah. But Scotty Scheffler hit all 14 fairways today.
Wow. That's
every single fairway today. It's only the 4th time in 569 career rounds on the PGA Tour that he has hit every fairway. And he did it at Harbortown, which has to have some of the narrowest fairways, aside from 18, which is the widest landing area on PGA Tour. But some of them are very narrow. Wow. So I would not count him out of this thing. I think he's think he's still coming. I think he's not done yet. So should be a great weekend out at Harbortown. Not a real busy night tonight. Wrapping up spring break week for the Beaufort County schools. We had a few games on tap, but USCB had baseball and softball. And
great win for the softball team. A fantastic win.
Softball, rough night for baseball.
Very rough night for baseball, according to Max.
Yes, I saw the score, and certainly.
Me too.
Yeah.
20-1, Lander? Is that correct?
Something like that. It was not
that was it.
Night, but
it happens.
Lander's a very solid team, and
and softball won 11.
But terrific night for softball. 11-3 over Augusta,
Nice.
And it wasn't the best performance for Murphy, who we've seen her to really deliver in those big teams. But the offense with a tremendous performance. How about our very own Alyssa Rose with a home?
Nice.
Yes, Alyssa Rose, who we haven't really seen much in the lineup, but she got an opportunity today at third, and she took advantage. Alyssa Rose with a home run. I believe it was the 3 RBI variety home run. So
3-run shot.
Yeah, 3-run shot for Alyssa Rose.
Take that every day of the week.
Is starting to step up and be a big part.
Third. She played third today.
Yeah, she did play third, and just really great to see her come through. It was a 2-run homer, so she must have got an RBI. Another 3 RBI day, but 2 RBI homer for Alyssa Rose.
Eubanks with 4 knocks. Nice.
Man, she has become quite the spark for that team. She's had a couple of but a 4-for-4 game. That is some impressive stuff. And this is an Augusta team that's been competitive in this conference this year. I mean, this is not a pushover team.
Right.
This is a tremendous result and a strong performance against a Peach Belt squad that has been competitive. And just to see that offense performance to be put up across the board with Tamaya Whitlock with a 2-hit Taylor Chang drove in 3. This is the offense that I was hoping to see from USCB as we got further in the season. Emma Brinkman's been stepping up too. Kaylee Eubanks. Some of these unsung heroes are starting to really shine for this team, and that's really exciting. I am very, very impressed and just very excited for what this softball team can do, trying to build off of this tomorrow. And if you take this series, I mean, that is a big step forward towards not just qualifying for the conference tournament, but trying to help your seeding as well. So tremendous stuff by this offense, especially not the best day. I mean, still 3 runs allowed, 6 strikeouts. So, I mean, still a very solid day for Murphy, but a far cry from the 1-hitter against North Georgia, but they didn't need it because the offense was raking. And that's a great sign for the Sand Sharks. 13 hits, 11 runs, and our good friend, our former Bluffton Bobcat, Alyssa Rose, the 2-run shot.
Yep, good stuff. Sand Sharks within a half game now of Augusta, so win tomorrow would push them ahead of what's Augusta? Jaguars.
Jaguars, yes.
The Jaguars. USCA and Pacers also just a half game ahead, and we still get to play them. But we also have Georgia Southwestern, which is struggling. So schedule bodes well for USCB to really make a move, get into top 5. And, depending on, I don't know what schedules they have left, Lander and Georgia College, but, I mean, you're only 3 games behind them at this stage. So it's all in play. There's a lot. There's a lot in play there. Sand Sharks looking good. Baseball not so much, but softball looking good. I had some scores from baseball tonight. There weren't many, but there were a few. Hilton Head Prep beating up on Savannah Country Day, 17-1. Benedictine beat May River 12-2.
Who was that?
Benedictine beat May River 12-2. Let's see here. See what happened in that prep game. Sammy Middleton 3 for 5, 4 RBIs.
He's an athlete.
Yeah, he's really
seeing him on the basketball court. He can move.
Told me when he was in like 7th or 8th grade, like this guy's going to be really good. Tyler Britschke good outing on the mound, and then Sammy and Brody
He can
Husher
do it all.
finished
Yes.
it up. Yeah, he's a good athlete as well. Then Hilton had Chris. Oh, that was last night. Bridges Prep, 15-0 over Hampton. Is that baseball or softball? That's baseball. Landon Tillotson, 4 for 4. Yeah, they just made quick work of Hampton. 16-1 Bishop England over Colleton. So they sweep that series and stay right in the mix with May River and Hilton Head for the region title there. Lawrence Manning, 9-3 over JP2 in softball. So a rare loss for the Golden Warriors. And that's it on the baseball softball front.
Yeah, pretty light slate.
Yeah.
Spring break week in Beaufort County, so we'll definitely get back in the swing of things starting on Monday as we head towards the home stretch. Crazy home stretch of these spring sports seasons and playoffs coming up very soon. And
Very soon.
look forward to seeing especially this May River baseball team, Hilton Head girls soccer, May River boys soccer. I think we've got some, and of course, Hilton Christian Way baseball. We sung some of praises for last night's show, so they are looking the part for sure. Especially the Bridges Prep baseball teams as well. How we mentioned how good they have been or how competitive they have been. So I'm pumped for a lot of those teams, especially as a former Seahawk alum and someone who has been very invested in the Hilton girls soccer program for a number of years. This seems like a season where they could get back to a place where they have been many times a good decade ago, if they can get all the way to Columbia.
Yeah. I think it's JP2 at THA baseball on Monday. I may try to head out to that and check that out since I have a rare Monday free
Nice.
in the afternoon, evening. So I'll let you guys know for sure.
Yeah, should be a decent little game. JP2's having a pretty good year, quite a good year actually, and Thomas Hayward has had some nice wins lately too. They've kind of been rallying as well, so should have some good ones tomorrow, or Monday rather. Yeah, not much else of note. We got some non-region soccer stuff going on tonight, but I don't know that we'll see scores posted on those yet. They've been a little slow to come. But all right, cool. What else we got, boys? Anything else before we? By the way, welcome, Max Arraj, and your very bright shirt. Did you go to Dan?
Yeah, indeed. Were you at a
Sorry,
luau after the games?
Sorry, what was that?
Were you at a luau after the games? It looks like a little bit of a
Not much of a
Hawaiian
luau
shirt there.
tonight at Richard Gray Sports.
Yeah, I don't think there's
Yeah.
much. I mean, it was
Not
one of those tough nights for USB baseball.
It's just, it was just one of those nights for them. I mean, having to sit through that was not fun. But I will say this. I mean, that's a really good Lander team. Obviously, I think they're sitting fourth in the standings for Peach Belt Conference play right now. So they're no slouch, put it that way. We knew this was going to be a tough series coming in. I was just not expecting the score that took place tonight. Offense couldn't get anything going, and the pitching wasn't helping.
It seems like a lot of those guys, and I think that the part of it is just when you're behind by. I mean, you were down early. You gave up 8 in the third. And it's a spot where let's save our best guys for later in the series. We're not gonna throw out our best pitchers when we're down 8-9 nothing.
Yes, and that's
Right.
all true.
I'm looking at the bullpen and the guys who pitched.
Right. At some point, you punt.
Yeah,
you just punt.
But you expect Joe Turner to have a better game, and he just couldn't find it.
Yeah, he's had a couple of toughies this year. Really
2 2/3 tonight, 9 hits, 3 walks, 1 strikeout, 9 earned runs. Just not a good night.
You need a better performance from your Friday guy to win a series like that. It's just
absolutely. And you need him to play well. Obviously, that Lander team is very good, but I was going into it, looking around, looking at the stats, and thinking, I thought it was going to be a good game coming in today, and it just It just wasn't. 13 walks from the pitching staff tonight, and that is really the biggest problem of that game was 13 walks. It's just that's just unacceptable in so many ways, and so that's really part of why Lander scored 20 runs tonight is they had basically 2 innings with bases loaded.
Brody Winter had 7 RBIs for Lander.
Yeah, Brody Winter had a 3-run homer in the first inning, gave those 3 runs in the first for Lander, and it was just all downhill from there. I mean, USCB had there was two times where Lander had the bases loaded, and it was just walk after walk, and you just can't do that. You just can't do that, and that is really the reason why USCB lost by 19 tonight. And so it's frustrating, but again, they have 2 more games where USCB can try to salvage it, try to get back and potentially win the series. I mean, it's only game 1. There's 2 more games to go. We'll see what they do tomorrow afternoon at 2:00. And we'll see who's on the mound to start off for USCB.
Max, did you see USCB softball win today?
Yes.
Most notably, the offensive production. How about Alyssa Rose, 2-run homer?
Yeah, how about that? Yeah, I mean,
and you've been following this team. We haven't talked much about Alyssa Rose. We haven't seen her lineup that much. We really haven't.
We haven't. And it's great to see Alyssa Rose have some good moments over the past couple weeks because she had a really good base hit last weekend against Middle Georgia when she came in game 3, I believe it was, and had a really good at bat.
Kaylee Eubanks, who you have been talking about a lot, how about a 4-for-4 performance?
4-for-4 tonight, yeah.
Outstanding stuff.
Look, we have said it enough. Last series, this past weekend against Middle Georgia was extremely important. You get 2 out of 3 against Middle Georgia. You come in, Augusta's sitting right above you now, only half a game ahead of you as that 6th spot. You win out this series, and you have sole possession of 6th place in the conference tournament, and you're in a really good spot heading into the final weekend against what is a Georgia Southwestern team that has struggled this season, heavily struggled. So this is an important series, I think, for USCB. You put yourself in a position, if you can win 2 out of 3 games, you put yourself in a position where, it's going to be really tough for you not to make the conference tournament unless you lose all 3 to Georgia Southwestern the next weekend. But now they have a chance. They have a chance.
They look more refined. They just look more composed and more confident than they were early in that conference season. They're a completely different team these last couple of weeks. I think the switch was flipped when they went on the road. They beat North Georgia. I mean, that's kind of where you thought that yes, this team is just taking that leap forward, and that is fantastic to see. Props to Cody Geske and the numerous additions who have made an impact, and just players who obviously we talk about Taylor Jen, we talk about Chloe Turner, but Emma Brinkman once again was fantastic. Kaylee Eubanks, you mentioned Alyssa Rose. And this wasn't Madison Murphy, as I said earlier, this wasn't Madison Murphy's best game. I mean, 3 earned runs given up. Certainly still was solid.
6 strikeouts, if I remember.
6 strikeouts. She did walk a decent amount of batters, but she was still, she walked 6. She gave up 5 hits. So not her best performance, but still.
It put her in a position to win.
Sometimes when you know the scouting report, a walk isn't the worst outcome.
Well, and so here's
no doubt.
And if you know, sometimes you can use those walks strategically,
right?
To get through difficulty in the order.
Yeah, I mean, I'll walk every walk.
Get people you're supposed to get. They don't hurt you. And
so here's what's interesting tomorrow, because tomorrow, obviously, game 2 last week, we saw Kylie Fisher start game 2 of the series last week. I'm intrigued to see who they put in to start in the circle this week.
Right.
I would be surprised if they put Kylie on the mound or on the circle.
That's what I would expect.
She's done pretty well. And you got Cassie Brundage to come in if needed.
Yeah, I think we'll probably see. We could see Brundage start. I'm guessing they'll give Kylie another opportunity to.
I think you got to roll with that again.
I think because I think it works. I think it works, and I think they've found something there. If it does work, they've found something that they can use in their upcoming, next 2 series. that they have
I mean,
against.
I just think you at least got to take another look at it and see if it continues to work.
I think you do.
It could be the answer to
Because
a
I mean,
lot of
with the way
questions.
the offense is playing, I think you can work that idea of
Right.
put Kylie in, see what she can do.
Yeah,
And
like,
if
man,
need be, you bring Cassie
if y'all
in.
can just keep them to 5 or 6, we feel like we got a shot.
Right.
You know, like,
especially the way this team is hitting. I mean, 15 hits and 7 innings in a 7, or actually no, Lander and 15 hits. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the baseball score. Forget anything I said right there. Let me pull up the softball. Let's see. USCB softball. 13 hits and 7 innings is pretty good. It's
really good.
Yeah,
for sure.
And it gives
actually,
me
6 innings because they won by 8 and after 6. So 6 innings.
Even better.
That's right. Yeah, that's even better. I mean, look, Wes, I think you're right on the dot here. That win against North Georgia, I think, kind of flipped the switch. I mean, forget the 2 losses they had in that series against North Georgia. I think they flipped the switch, and I think they figured something out over that series against North Georgia. And ever since then, the offense has clicked, and the pitching's been there too. They've been solid pitching-wise through the last couple series. So I have high confidence over the next 2 games for USCB. You get a sweep over Augusta, and you are smooth sailing into the final weekend.
No doubt.
Against
no doubt.
Georgia
And that would be just really exciting. I mean, it's obviously senior day is a lot more fun when you're playing well going to senior day. That's just what I have.
Yeah, when the game matters.
Well, that's when the game matters is when you're playing well, when you've already clinched that spot. Because if you're sweated out, and on senior day, it's not.
Yeah, you can enjoy it a little bit more pressure, knowing that it's already clinched.
Well, I mean, think about this. I mean, we know what that was like for them to sweat it out last year. I mean, they were going into the final series last year against North Georgia.
Right.
You needed 2 out of 3 games to get your spot into the conference tournament. And what do? They lose the first one and then win the final 2 games of that series against a team that was nationally ranked at the time in North Georgia. So, I mean, like, they know how to do it. They've done it before. But, yes, you would absolutely 100% want to come into next weekend with just a bit more of a comfort zone.
Yes, I'd love to have that heading into your final home series. And, of course, you got USC Aiken. The softball team actually has the baseball season finishes next week. The softball team has another series on the road a week after.
Right, I forgot about that.
Yeah. If I can interject, fellas, we have yet to hear from one sponsor tonight.
Oh my goodness, you are right. Good call, Marcus Walsh.
Too much yapping about a lot.
I guess we're going to do them all here right now.
Might as well.
The show presented, of course, by Mickelson Law Firm and WHHI TV, our all-star sponsors. Mickelson Law Firm with us since the beginning, our original sponsor. They are our presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage and the official real estate closing attorney of LowcoSports. But you can call on them for all your legal needs right in downtown Bluffton, and they love all the teams in the Loco. That's why they support LowcoSports. And, of course, they love all the teams in the Loco over at WHHI TV, our
yes, we do.
And local sports coverage. They really spread the wealth. You guys go to painstaking lengths to find the perfect set of matchups for the number of games you're going to do to maximize the number of teams that you can get on.
And by we, it's predominantly, and I'll take just about a bunch of, maybe not all, but a bunch of the credit for it, because I'm the one that's looking up, where are we at in this?
Yeah.
And that and the other to get it off Jeremy's plate.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. So you guys do a great job and really shine a light on the kids and the community. And we
love it.
With you guys, WHHI TV, our co-custodian of Marcus Walsh. Let's go ahead and shout out our other sponsors as well. Hudson Seafood House on the Docks, a great place for seafood, sunsets, and cocktails on Hilton Head Island. And probably a little overrun this week, but get in if you can fit in. You might want to get out there early and spend a little time out there on the water at Hudson Seafood House on the Docks. If you get in a little pinch or, somebody hits you from behind in the traffic out there and you need a personal injury attorney, we got Twinge and Twombly. They've got a rare name, Twinge and Twombly, but they provide remarkable service over in Beaufort. Call on them for your personal injury attorney needs. And, of course, if you need to improve your view of the Loco, we got Coach Barron and his folks over at HHI Windows and Doors. He hung up his whistle from coaching at Hilton Head Prep, and now he's focused on a new kind of screens, improving your view of the Loco at HHI windows and doors. If you need a haircut or not, if you're in Ridgeland, just stop by Jay's Barbershop. It's the place to be, whether you need a haircut or not. Say hi to the guys over there at Jay's Barbershop. And if you're looking to take your skills on the mat to the next level this year, Jay's boy will be over there. Go to Reverence Wrestling Club. You'll see a lot of the star wrestlers from the Loco. You'll see why they are state champions and state placers, because they're putting in the work in the offseason at Reverence Wrestling Club. So go check them out, our official wrestling sponsor.
Not a sponsor, but I do want to add something. Speaking of getting your haircut, I happened to see my guy Darius Felder on Monday before he was out at the Heritage. But Barbers of the Lowcountry actually has a mobile shop.
Yeah.
They take all over the Lowcountry at various events of the year, and they are at the Heritage.
Yep.
So
Really?
they've been known
Yeah, they set up their mobile barbershop right there in the parking lot,
of
right
a
outside
bunch
the gate.
of the golfers
That's
and
awesome.
caddies and whatnot. So if you go to the Heritage and you're kind of thinking, yeah, maybe I feel like I could use a haircut before checking out the round, go see them.
Yeah,
I
they're
think
like
they're going
right
to be
over there
out
by the
tomorrow
Road Wall.
and Sunday as
I
well.
think for the fun of it, just go and be like, yeah, so I want to go bald for this week at the Heritage. See what
Yeah,
happens.
if you want to feel like you want to get your head shaved before the
Man.
round that you go see, they can do that too
Yeah,
at
Yeah.
BOTL
Awesome.
go get a trim
I love
before you
that.
go through the
mobile
gate.
shop.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it is really cool. It's very
It's
cool.
amazing.
Thing they do.
They do
All right,
great
parting
stuff.
thoughts, gents. Marcus, what you got, buddy?
Well, I might as well start there. I've got a few quick ones. They lost in the last few weeks. They lost the matriarch of the shop in Donna Nelson, who passed away just a few weeks ago. And of course, I gave the folks my condolences there when I saw them on Monday afternoon. Don't really know what happened, and I think I may have even alluded to it with you guys maybe last week. But such a huge loss to the Lowcountry and to Lou, Brent, Darren, and Brent and Darren's wives and families. I certainly give my condolences and heartfelt thoughts and prayers for sure. Donna was one of a kind, and I don't think I ever saw her without a smile on her face when somebody would come up to her, whether in the shop. We saw them a bunch at the Golden Oysters over the years. Really a gentle soul of this Lowcountry, and she for sure will be missed.
They live on the street. I saw all the cars piled up at their house the other day, and I knew something. You could tell that something had happened, and I immediately thought of Lou, but it was, of course, Donna. Right. Tough for those folks. Great family,
for sure. And some more tough news. This in the world of sports. If you guys remember Garrett Anderson, the left fielder for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, known as the Anaheim Angels back then, found out earlier today that he passed away at age 53.
Yeah.
What a stunner.
He was not only was he an Angel, if I'm remembering correctly, he was also an Atlanta Brave.
He was.
Correct.
At the end of his career. I think he played for a couple of teams, maybe even the Chicago White Sox, but he, of course, was one of the star players of that 2002 World Series team. Definitely a big loss in the world of Major League Baseball. For sure. I did see also, just real quick, that Dick Vitale had his first immunotherapy treatment today for melanoma of the liver and lung area, and I think all went well. So he's gonna battle and fight.
That dude's been through it.
Like you know what? Oh, has he ever in the last
been through it.
handful of years?
He's been through enough, y'all. Yeah, fight through this, Dick. Fight through it, man.
You got this, Dickie B.
Yeah, you got it, man.
All right, moving along. Max, what do you got, buddy?
Three things real quick. First off, I did just see this as I was going through social media. The San Diego Padres have been sold to a private owner, Jose Feliciano, who's also a co-owner of Chelsea FC in the Premier League. So he is apparently
the Puerto Rican musician or musician. Or
I have no idea.
Feliciano?
Private equity billionaire Jose Feliciano, and also co-owner of
Well,
Chelsea.
he was the guy
FC.
who's saying the Feliz Navidad, or is that another?
Oh, I don't know.
The valuation for the Padres is expected to be sold at around $3.9 billion.
Wow.
That's a pretty
Lord
good.
have mercy. So thought that was interesting. The other one is obviously I'm sure a lot of people have seen Doc Rivers has retired as a coach from the NBA. Goodbye. It was long overdue for him, although he had a great coaching career. I will applaud him on that.
He was
Yeah,
good.
he's had a
NBA
long.
Giving
champion,
a
NBA
lot to
Cup
the game.
champion in 2024. He was the NBA Coach of the Year in 2000. He was 4-time NBA All-Star head coach in 08, 2011, 2021, and 2024. So he's had quite the career as a head coach. So props to him. Happy trails. And then one more thing, of course, big series going on tonight in Major League Baseball. The Atlanta Braves taking on the Philadelphia Phillies, and the Braves absolutely thumped them. 9-0 was the final score over Philadelphia on the road in Philly. The Atlanta Braves had 6 runs after 2 innings and never looked back.
How about these Atlanta Braves, these 2026 Braves? They're fine.
And
they are.
Fuego.
Yes.
They're figuring it out. And also, Spencer Strider had a rehab assignment yesterday, pitched really well in 3 1/3 innings. Threw 50 pitches and didn't allow a run. He pretty much struck out. I think he struck out 3 or 4 guys. So he's well on his way. Sean Murphy, he had a rehab assignment. He was catching for Spencer Strider last night. So the Braves are getting their players healthy. That starting rotation is starting to be put together a little bit more and will be more put together in the next month or so. And that's a scary sight if you're anyone in the National League right now, because the way this Braves team has been playing, they have not lost the series yet. They're doing something special right now in Atlanta, and I think Walt Weiss has been doing an amazing job in his first year so far as manager of the Atlanta Braves, which I quite like Walt Weiss because he's I think I've mentioned on the show, like, I love Brian Snitker. He was that old school type of manager where you penciled your 9 players in, you let them do their thing, you know. But with Walt Weiss, he's a little more aggressive. He puts these teams together as if they're already playing in October, you know. So, like, and it's part of the reason why they've not lost the series this season is because he's got that aggressive kind of nature in him, and clearly he knows how to tackle. He knows how to tackle a baseball player as well.
Dude. Yeah. He was always a fiery dude. He's a hard-nosed guy.
So
you're welcome, by the way.
Great Bobby Cox.
Robert the Mets today.
Oh yeah, that's
yes.
right. They did.
Ranger Suarez finally showing up for the Sox in a really nice performance. This is the Ranger Suarez that I
forgot.
expected.
Ranger Suarez went to the Red Sox. I kind of forgot about that. Don't know how, but I did.
Yeah, it happens.
Yep.
You'll forget a lot of stuff.
Yes. Max, you done?
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. I'm just gonna go back to golf, which is where I've spent my day. So I have a couple of thoughts. But first, I want to talk about there is some deep trouble right now for Live Golf from what I have heard. We kind of talked about earlier.
Yes.
What I've heard today that the Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund is about to terminate their support for the tour, which would be a big loss of funding and could be spelling the end of the road for Live Golf. So it seems like
good riddance.
This experience is about to find the end of an era, and so these golfers on the Live Tour will have to find a new home to play. And
so from what I'm hearing, because I've been looking around, because you mentioned this, Wes, and apparently they have through the rest of the Live season. They're going to try and fund it through the rest of the season, and then who knows what's going to happen after that. It pretty much sounds like there will be no Live Golf tour after the season's over. So I assume that's what they were doing, because there were talks about they may be done at the end of this week. So we have no idea. We just don't know exactly what's going on. But yeah, it kind of seems like Live Golf is at its end. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens to all those golfers that are over there, because despite us hating the Live Golf Tour, there are quite a few players that I've seen that have come through the Live Golf Tour that I would actually quite like to see at the PGA Tour. There's a player that was a former PGA Tour golfer. He stepped aside to deal with mental health
Anthony
illness
Kim?
and stuff like that. Yes.
Yep.
Anthony Kim very nearly won a Heritage many years ago.
That's right. And so I would love to see him on the PGA Tour again. I think that'd be fantastic. There were talks about him potentially trying to make a bid for the Masters this year. Obviously, that didn't happen. But there are quite a few golfers I would like to see come back over to the PGA Tour.
Yeah, he was a guy who almost won the. He actually finished third in the Masters back in 2010.
Yeah. He was a rising star.
Yeah,
he was a rising star, and he was sitting top 20, top 30 in the world or something at one point, and then it just kind of fell apart.
He was kind of the next big thing,
right?
And then he was basically dubbed as the next big thing. He came back on the Live Golf Tour and then won a tournament a few months back, and talks started coming around of if he keeps this going, could he potentially make a bid for the Masters? But obviously that didn't come to be. But he's just one of quite a few golfers that I would like to see back.
There could I like how you put it, because there definitely could be guys who would benefit from the opportunities of the store, and maybe they can take that with them as they continue on. But certainly a seismic shift with the potential end of this Live Tour, which certainly left its mark on golf for better or for worse. And certainly there's debates to be had about the merits of this tour and what happened in the last couple of years. But it looks like
Harold Varner III. That's another one.
Yes, that is another guy who I totally forgot about, who was playing for Live. Yes,
he's fun.
Yep.
I'd like to see Dustin Johnson back on the PGA Tour as well. I miss seeing him on the PGA Tour. John Rahm's another one that I would love to see back on the tour.
Bill Hatton.
I don't want to see DeChambeau on the tour, but hey, he's
gonna be though. He
is. He will be because he brings he will bring a ton of money if he comes back on the PGA Tour. He will bring a ton of money. So like it's also yes, you bring players back, but they're also bringing more money back to the PGA Tour. So it's
Cam Smith,
which will actually, because we mentioned this last night, if Live Golf shuts down, it will make the RBC Heritage next year very interesting.
Yes.
That is very, very interesting. If the Heritage continues to be a signature tour event for the foreseeable future, that will be quite the interesting RBC Heritage next year.
Well, and like, are those guys are going to have to go back through Q school or something? I'm
not sure how they will bring them back.
They're going to have to qualify.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Bryson DeChambeau would be really good at those long driving contests. if you know, you know.
Right. He's competed in those long driving contests, and he's actually won an event, I'm pretty sure, as well. The dude can hit it, man. He can hit
it. Your boy Steph going tonight, trying to get back into the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's right.
Unfortunately, the Hornets, who have certainly gave the city hope for the first in over 10 years, completely laid an egg again tonight. But we turn the page. The Kings, can they finally bring the cup home for the first time since 2006? Their cup run starts tomorrow, so we will see what happens there. Busy time for sports. A lot going on. But I have another parting thoughts. And it's back to the RBC Heritage. Actually, a couple of parting thoughts. Just a few things that I went, some fun anecdotes about today's round. I mentioned this before, but I was watching Siwoo Kim play a couple of holes, and crazy thing happened on 15. Like others have done, he tried to get on in two. He landed in that greenside bunker on the lower right side of the green, completely chunked it, hit the rim, went back into the sand. And so it was basically the same shot for his fourth, and then he holds it for a birdie.
I saw that video, and he's just laying. He
lays down in the sand or something like that.
I love Siwoo Kim. He makes
too bad he didn't bring his sandals.
He's fun. He's come really close to winning the Heritage a couple of times too.
Actually, Continue going.
And then just funny things I overheard at the Heritage today. Actually, it was a volunteer who said this. Someone who was carrying around a stroller with their kid, and they said, I guess they were tired of standing. Can you push me around for the next few hours? So,
the volunteers are tremendous. They come up with
they're awesome.
Great lines, and they're so friendly with everybody. I've worked with a bunch of them over the years as well. They're outstanding.
Some more comments regarding the thought that hey, I birdied 17 here on this court that people were bragging about the time they played Harbor Town. I actually got to play once in media day. We played as a group, and even though I think the four of us still couldn't birdie 17. That's how difficult.
I know I never birdied 17. There's no chance. I was usually bailing out way right. And
right.
Yep.
Now I have hit some power fades off those condos on 18 though.
Yep.
I'm staying way away from that sound. I'm not going in the Calabogie sound.
Yeah.
I've been all over that.
It's great when you start looking at your scorebook and you ask yourself, how many times did I yell 4 during this round?
No, I usually don't have to yell 4, but I'm usually in my pocket by the time we get to 18 green. Like I don't know that I've ever putted out on 18 at Harbor Town. I was like, yeah, I'm good, guys. You guys finish out without me.
Look, I'm an okay golfer, but even I would think if I played Harbor Town, there's going to be more than one time where I'm going to yell 4 to make sure I don't hit someone.
18 is just so daunting.
It's so hard.
18 is no. I'll say this. Unlike Victor Hovland, I actually hit the fairway at 18. So
really.
Nice.
It is the widest landing area
Yes.
in the PGA Tour. All right. Anything else, Wes?
I think that's all I got.
Well, I just I did come across one thing. I saw that the Class 4A boys golf lower state is going to be at a golf club at Hilton Head Lakes out in the Ville, hosted by May River on May 11th.
Okay.
But the state championship will be upstate this year at Seneca. So our guys will be going up there. And then this is not local, but I just came across this. I don't know if you guys have heard of him, but he's a Hall of Famer, basketball Hall of Famer, Oscar Schmidt, the Brazilian great known as the Holy Hand. He passed away today. He was 68 years old. Thought to be by many to be, I mean, some guys, a lot of guys like considered him, their inspiration and call him the greatest. Kobe evoked his name often. Schmidt was before his time and never elected to go to the NBA. There's a great episode on him of Pablo Torre Finds Out. Pablo talks with Oscar Schmidt, and they talk about his legacy and everything. And he talks to a lot of people about Schmidt, but he gives a great interview, or did, and was a tremendous player who, again, just kind of before his time. He played a style that kind of predated the time. He didn't benefit from the three the entire time of his career, I don't think, but adapted to become a great three-point shooter.
Yeah,
you can see he was just crazy shooter. He was a big Bird fan. Really loved Larry Bird, modeled himself after him. So if you're a hoop head and you never heard about Oscar Schmidt before, check him out. He was a legend, and didn't quite get the name recognition in our part of the world that he had in other places, but an outstanding.
I like those kinds of stories because just across sports in general, there's just and things you dig up that you don't realize that have happened, which is always pretty cool. And you find out this guy who's actually a pretty good basketball player, and it's kind of cool to hear his story, his origins, and
it is really cool.
He did play
19
years for the Brazilian national team, and he was the star in a historic win against the United States.
He got drafted by the Nets.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
That was really
cool. He played most of his. He got drafted by the Nets, but it appears like he played most of his basketball in in that Brazilian area.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just basically said no thanks. I'm good. And basically, the biggest thing was at the time, if he played in the NBA, he would not have been able to play for the Brazilian national team more, and he didn't want to trade that.
Yeah, that seems. Yeah, that's understandable.
That sounds true. Yep.
Yeah, very cool.
Cool. I do have one more thing. It's, I guess we can consider them local. It is Savannah. I don't know if you saw, but the Savannah Ghost Pirates are going to be playing in their first ever playoff appearance.
Yeah, Wes,
as a franchise.
the other night, right, Wes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure when the series isn't started yet.
No, it won't start until next 2 weeks out. 2 weeks.
I might be able to get that to you.
I think it starts on the 29th. If I'm
starting on the 24th against the Everblades.
The Florida Everblades.
Oh, yeah.
We're just talking about how cool that name was. The Florida Everblades.
Home game on the 29th.
It's a best of 7 series or something like that.
Yeah. They're at Florida on the 24th and 25th, home on the 29th, May 1st, and May 2nd if necessary, and then they'd go back on the road for game 6 and 7, May 4th and 5th. So
fun.
Yeah, first playoff appearance for the Ghost Pirates.
Yeah.
God, can you imagine how loud that place is going to get for a playoff?
Playoff hockey is the best.
That's gonna
really is.
It's going to be fun.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Really is.
All right. Well, thank you, fellas. Good stuff. We got you set up for the weekend. Should be a great moving day out at Harbortown. Wes will be back out there. I'll be coaching a little softball, trying to get out to Harbortown on Sunday and check out.
I'll be out there in the afternoon as well.
I'll be on call on the Sandshark Game Day Network for Game 2 and Game 3 on Saturday and Sunday for USCB taking on Lander. Hopefully, I don't see another 20-1 score. I hope. It should be an exciting weekend, and of course, USCB softball on the road at Augusta for Games 2 and 3 tomorrow. Hopefully, trying to win the series and potentially sweep, put them in a really good position.
Have they swept a Peach Belt series before? I'm trying to remember. I'm not sure if
I don't know.
I'll have to dig into that.
Sure.
Yeah.
They have good
I know they've won some, but
we'll have our producer get on that.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Good stuff. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Thanks to all of our sponsors for making it possible. Thanks to you for showing up to listen or watch. And thank you, fellas, for hanging out and doing it with me. We'll see you again tomorrow night after round 3 of the RBC Heritage. For Marcus Walsh, Max Arraj, and Wes Kerr, I'm Justin Jarrett. Till next time, go Loco.